Hey, what's up you guys, Spiderman96 here. So today I thought we'd have a look back at two of my favourite figures from one of my favourite movies. These are two of the Posable figures from Spider-Man 2. Let's roll a review.
Now dig all this.
So first up we've got the Super Posable Spider-Man from the movie. This has been in my hands for many years, since I was about 7. This special deal in my place in my heart, but I'll go into them in a minute. Came packaged with a display base, but unfortunately over time is worse for wear and I have completely lost. But it was a Daily Bugle billboard. Yeah, I mean this figure is so good. It still stands the test of time today. There are some stuff that I think if it were to be re-released or updated there'd be some differences. But yeah, I mean I remember getting these. My grandma came down to see me. She lives a long way away and she had a habit of just buying everything I picked up. So when I was about 7 or 8, I remember getting so many different Spider-Man figures, but these are two of my favourites that still are in my display. But this one in particular, I remember being fascinated by because you could get it into so many poses, and I never really had a toy like that could do this stuff. And the likeness to the character is great. You can see the face sculpt there for the mask. It really does remind me of the Sam Raimi suit Tobey Maguire wore in the movies. It had a kind of helmety look underneath it as well. It just had a very unique look to it. So yeah, I mean the articulation of this thing is crazy. The head goes up and down and the neck rotates. We've got a weird butterfly joint. It goes up instead of inwards or out, to the front. We get a full rotation at the bicep and at the shoulder as well. Yeah, it's just crazy. It still boggles me to this day how much articulation we can get, and then now we don't really get it. So yeah, we get loads in the arm there. We also get quite a generous double jointed elbow, which is something that was, again, very revolutionary for the time. I'm still remembering how I felt about this, because before I had a Spider-Man that had literally 5 points of articulation. So having even the wrist and the hand joint is crazy. We get a massive ab crunch, goes really far back. We get into some of those classic poses, especially from the first film with the the goblin in the burning building. He bends forward really far. We get quite a bit of articulation in the waist. It goes with 360. It's quite loose. The legs go out a generous amount of really far, over 90 degrees forward as well. And then we go kind of back to an angle, which is fine. That's quite standard with these figures. We get a double hinge at the knee, so we can get them in some really cool web swinging poses, which I'll show in a bit. And then we get a calf rotation, which is quite generous. And we also get we don't get any ankle rocker, we do get the pivot and the toe pivot as well. So all in all, articulation wise, this guy is crazy. It's just so different to anything we got before at this point. This was 2004, I think the movie came out, so I think the figures actually came out in 2003, late part of 2003. Because I remember getting them just before I saw the movie, but I was very young, so I may be wrong. Yeah, I mean, just look at the scales and the deco on this. The webs look so cool. The sculpt on the blue or the black parts in this case of the suit look really cool. And we can just get him to some really cool poses. I mean, what more do you want from a Spider-Man figure? You can just get him in every Spidey pose imaginable. It is a shame about the thwipping hands, not getting any option to do that, but there are other Super Posable Spider-Man figures which gave you that option. If you've seen one of my previous videos, you'll see I did a custom. So I think if Hasbro had another go at this, which they may do, It's the 20th anniversary next year of the first film. We may get a one with different options with the hands. But yeah, like the thing about those movies, the first three Spider-Man movies, they really did play on the acrobatics of Spider-Man and made him look like an acrobat. You know, there was so many different ways when he swang, if that's a word, when he was swinging through the city. You'd see him get into so many different poses, and he just moved so elegantly. So it's really nice to have a figure where you can get him in some of those. You recreate some of the parts of the movie. So all in all, I still love this figure today. You know, maybe a little bit non-movie accurate in the proportions of the body, but it's still a great one. But if you're looking for something a bit more movie accurate, then you'd probably be looking for the next figure, which is this one. It's the magnetic Spider-Man, which I'm sure a lot of people, a lot of 90s kids would have had plenty of these, like clinging to the fridge at some point in their lifetime. But it actually it's a really nice display figure. It's not quite as articulated as the previous one, but you can see the feel of it, and it's got that nice kind of the feel of the suit from the movie. It's just got a really nice sturdy paint job, and it doesn't rattle. If you look at the other one that I just showed you, it's got it definitely feels more like a children's toy. You know what I mean? It rattles. It's very loose, but it may just be because it's been played with a lot. The joints are a lot stiffer. And obviously we get the option to display it on the base, which I'll go through in a minute. So yeah, you can see we get some magnets in the feet, and also the hands, which is just a little bit, again, Hasbro really have hit onto something with the interchangeable hands. But if you look at the head sculpt, I feel like this one reminds me just that little bit more of the movies, and we do get a nice sort of texture flowing through the webbing. That deco looks really good because it did kind of get darker in points, whereas the one on the left hasn't got what we got on the right. But yeah, I do love this one. This is again something I picked up. I've had this since I was about 7 years old, so I do love it. I love the base too. You can see we get the image of Kirsten Dunst, which was used in the movie. This was one of the posters in the movie. I believe this is a New York City billboard. I think that's what they call it, a billboard. I think so. But yeah, this is the billboard. And we do get some really nice paint on there. It looks really good. Shame it's on the back or the bottom. You've got the legal stuff on the bottom there. But it's quite a sturdy base, and I think it's just a nice background. And putting Spidey on there looks really cool as well, which I'll show you. Yeah, you just literally just flick straight on there. Get him in some really good poses, quite naturally as well. It's like it doesn't require a lot of work. That's what I mean by a display option or a display piece. Is it just looks cool, and yeah, the way it sort of comes out like that. I do wish we could get some bases like this from Hasbro. This is one of the things that still holds ToyBiz at a high standard in my head. But yeah, this is just a really quick review. Let me know if you guys are enjoying these, because I have got so many old figures to go through, and I'm actually quite enjoying making them. So if you did enjoy it, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be posting a video this weekend on some later Hasbro stuff. But yeah, I'll see you then. Thanks very much. Bye.